Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to another video. I want to talk about a book that really changed my life, changed my perspective on the world, changed my entire course of what I was doing with my life, right? That book is The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. Tim Ferriss is a very interesting guy. He's done a lot of cool shit. He's got some cool books, and he's done a lot of things, man. He's somebody definitely to learn from, right? And this book, The 4-Hour Workweek, when I read it and I picked it up, changed my whole outlook on what I want to do with my life. So let me give a little context, because in this book summary, quote unquote, I'm not really summarizing the book. I'm just talking about how it affected me, and like at the point I was in my life, and how it affected me, and how I am who I am now, and where I'm going now because of that. So back when I picked up this book, it was 2017, March 2017, April 2017. I picked up this book, if I remember correctly, late 2013, early 2014. No, actually late 2013, right? So it's been like 3.5 years. Now at the time, I was studying chemical engineering, and in that period when I picked up the book, I was doing an internship. An internship is basically you're still studying. I still have to come back and do my last year, but you know, I'm doing an internship for a year. So I'm working for a year, you know, for a company, you know, a chemical engineering related position. And I picked up this book and I started reading it. So basically the book talks about how Tim Ferriss built his business online and how he was making automated income, passive income if you want to call it, from his online businesses. And before that, my perception of the world was that you get a degree and then you go work for somebody else. And that's exactly what I was doing with my life at the time. I was doing an internship on the premise that I would finish the internship, I would come back to school, I would do one last year, and then like a good boy, I would go and apply to companies and I would just work 9 to 5. That was my perception, right? That's the way I grew up, the reality that I was brought into is this is how the world works, and I legitimately thought that's how the world works. Until I picked up this book and I started reading about this guy. You know, he built his business online. Of course, the title is very, you know, marketing, and he's a genius marketer, Tim Ferriss. I mean, I love the guy, but of course, the title, The 4-Hour Workweek, that doesn't really exist. You gotta put in work. But the concept that I picked up from the book is that you can do something online, that this is a different world we live in now, that things are not the way our parents taught us and not the way we were brought up to believe in. You know, I was brought up, you know, my dad just, he works, right? All my uncles do the same thing. Everybody around me just does the same thing. So I thought, oh, this is how it is. But then I read this book and I'm like, man, you can actually, in this day and age, have something online and actually like do something online and make money online and not have to work for anybody and not have to work physically, not have to go and do something from 9 to 5. So that was a life-changing moment for me right there and then. Now the other thing is, I know that the title of the book is called The 4-Hour Workweek, but Tim Ferriss also clarifies in the book that there's no such thing as 4-hour workweek. Like, I see this concept of doing something online, of working, I don't want to say working from home, but working online. This is why I'm doing YouTube now. You know, it's that seed, the idea that seed is planted. But I'll tell you something, right now, I don't put no 4-hour work week. I put in a lot more. I put in a lot more into these videos, into preparing them, into making them, into uploading them, into you know, trying to put them out to the world, into researching, you know. I put in a lot more. But I'm doing it online. I work online, right? So that was the one thing that really, really impacted me from this book. The one thing that I really picked up. It's a new world, guys. Okay, some of you guys are watching this, you know, you want to do your own thing, you're not sure what it is, trying to find your passion. Keep in mind, as you go on about finding your passion and doing what you want to do, we live in a different world. If you're listening to what your parents told you, that's old, man. That's old shit. Because it's true, by the way, in my parents' day, getting a degree and working 9 to 5 was not a bad idea at all. You were respected, it's prestige, you got a lot of money. This is a different world we live in. Completely different. I mean, the internet, when did the internet become available to the public? Like in the 90s? I think 1991? Don't quote me on that, I could be wrong. But let's assume that it's 1991. It became available to the public, right? So 1991, what are we, 2017, 91, 2001, 2011, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 26 years. That's it. 26 years, and I'm talking from the minute one that the internet was made available to the public. 26 years. That is nothing. I didn't even start going on the internet until like 2004. That's nothing, man. That's nothing. 26 is young. Alright? When did Facebook and YouTube, when did YouTube come out? 2006, 2007? That's 10 years. When I started YouTubing, people are like, oh man, the market is saturated. This, I'm like, are you guys paying attention? This is a young company. The whole internet, the whole concept of online is young. It's young. It's nothing. It's a baby. You know, it's a baby. So just keep that in mind as you go on about whatever it is you want to do. You don't have to do anything online, man. You know, you might want to become a doctor. You know, that's not online. Or you might be a doctor and you want to start a YouTube channel, then there you can do something there, right? But keep that in mind. Keep that it's a flexible world. It's a new world. It's a different world. Don't listen to the old ideas. Those are outdated, man. Those are outdated. Okay? Open your eyes. We live in an abundant world. We live in a beautiful world. We live in the best times and the worst times. I think this is a good way to put it. Best times and worst times. And if you tune in into the radio station that says this is the best time, there is a beautiful shit ton of cool things you can do. Okay? So that's why I highly recommend you pick up this book if you haven't done so and read it. And don't take it with a grain of salt. Or when I say take it with a grain of salt, I'm saying there's no such thing as 4-hour work week. Whatever it is you're going to choose, you're going to put in a lot of work. And even Tim Ferriss in the book, he says that. He clarifies that, hey, this is, no, it's not you need more than 4 hours. Alright? But you can automate a lot of things online, you can do a lot of things online, right? Pick it up, read it, have a go at it, change your attitude. Maybe right now you're living in this radio station, in this part of reality that's been passed to you by your parents and other people that says this is the only way to go. It's not the only way to go. There's an infinite possibilities. Embrace these times. It's beautiful. We live in abundance. We live in a beautiful time. Don't believe all the horror stories you hear from other people about how this world sucks and everything is bad. Statistically, factually, and even subjectively, we live in the best times. They're saying by year 2030, the projection, and it's an optimistic projection, but nevertheless, that we're going to have no more poverty in the world. Alright, so no matter what negative shit out there, we're getting better. Embrace this world, embrace this abundance, and open your eyes. That's all I have to say. So I recommend picking up this book because it definitely widened my horizons, and I'm sure it'll do the same to you. That's it. Check out saidmobayed.com for inspiration, for empowerment. Go to the description and get a free book, 5 Power Habits to Dominate All Areas. Leave me something in the comments, and as always, I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys, but don't forget to subscribe or you're gonna sleep with the fishes.